So welcome everyone to this Iteracare testimonial video. And today I am thrilled to be able to introduce to you my new friend. It's one of the things I love about working digitally. I get to meet people from all over the world. And my new friend is Amanda Ninh. Welcome, Amanda. So good to see you on today. Thanks for taking time.
Hi, Renee. I'm so excited. Thank you for inviting me.
You are so welcome. So you guys, Amanda has a really, really beautiful story. And she's had a really interesting life, at least in the last 30 some years, especially with her career. And she spent the first 30 years of her career as a hairdresser. And then before COVID, she said, gosh, I am passionate about finance and helping people with their finances. Why don't I make this my new career? So she changed completely and became a financial consultant. And then you guys know when you're doing hair, you're standing, you're moving, it's a very physical activity. But now when you're educating and you're teaching, we're sitting all the time. And what do we say? Sitting is the next smoking. And that really affected her health. And then of course we hit the pandemic and things took a turn. So from here, I'm going to stop and just allow Amanda to share her story of what happened and then how she was able to use the wand. So welcome, Amanda. Thanks again. And just go right into it.
All right. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Ninh. And so let me start by telling you I am so in love with the Iteracare wand. And the reason being so is that, 30 year being a hairdresser, like Renee said, I'm moving around all the time. I'm standing up, I'm sitting down. So I was never in front of a computer. So I was always healthy all my entire life. I've been blessed to be super healthy, where if I was sick with a flu, I would get over it in 2, 3 days.
Mhm.
Whereas my client was like, I've been sick for a week. I've been really sick with a flu for 2 weeks. And so for me, they've known me all my life doing their hair. It's like, Amanda, you've never been sick. I've never seen you miss a day, and so so when COVID hit, I got hit really hard. It went straight into my lung.
Mhm.
And so I was out for 2 weeks because right before COVID, I was transitioned, like Renee said, I transitioned to finance. And I was talking to teachers about their pension. So every day I was doing about 6 to 8, meetings. You know,
Ooh.
each one was lasting about maybe an hour. Then when COVID hit my lung, I was like, oh my goodness, like somebody, like a train ran over me. I was like, I could only do one meeting and then I would have to take a break about an hour in between just to recuperate and get my strength back. So now if I'm going from 6 to 8 meeting, I have to give those meetings away to my colleague to do for me because I was only doing down to 1 or 2, maybe 3 a day, and then just collapsed, went back to bed and just stuff like that. And so as the 20 passed by and then 21, I realized I never really recuperated. I was still very, very sick. Then in the fall of last year, I got COVID the second time, and it completely just got me so tired. I, and on top of that, with all the stress with families and, personal family issue, like everybody have, right? Who doesn't have?
But still, that's your story. I mean, that was happening at that point.
So,
Yes.
so it, whatever that was, it just made me completely, I lost my voice. I could barely talk without coughing. So I had I don't know, I almost had bronchitis almost. It was very thick at my throat. I couldn't cough it up. I knew something was there, but I couldn't cough it up.
Oh.
And then I had a stuffy nose, sinus all the time. So I went to the doctor and she said, well, you have an infection, so let me give you some antibiotics. And so I took the antibiotics, but I had a reaction to it. I was just like throwing up. I could
Oh.
not, for the life of me, hold down my food. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to take this. And so one day I was just on, YouTube, trying to learn, get myself updated, what's new with finance. Well, the Lord led me one step to another, to the Iteracare, wand. And so I was like so intrigued. So I looked into it, and then I got to Renee's site. And so I just said, Lord, because before that I was asking the Lord, I said, Lord, you've got to help me. I can't do this on my own because I can't get out of bed. I just got up, you know, every meeting I had to ask my teacher, I'm so sorry, I'm going through some, trying to recover. And they were so sweet. They were like, oh, don't worry. So, I would like constantly be on cough drop just to do my meetings. And so I said to the Lord, I said, I can't do this without your help. Please send help. And so when I got to Renee's and she was talking about the wand, and I know about frequency because the Lord had led me to learn about frequency years ago. So I was already on the path to understand that about frequency and stuff like that. So I said, wow, I need to get this, because I was at the end of my rope.
Yeah.
I woke up, I'd had nothing to do. My kids were beginning to get scared, concerned for me because I've been active all my life and now I don't want to do anything. I was just barely, hanging on, trying to make an income to pay my bills. Other than that, I didn't want to do anything. All of my other, colleague would call and say, hey, come do this, come play, pickleball with us. I'm like, no, I can't right now. I don't have energy. I can't do it. And so everybody was calling concerned, but I was just totally have no desire, no motivation, nothing. And so when I got the wand, before I got the wand, I kind of did a little bit more research to see what am I expecting, what am I doing, So how to do this, what do I do? And so when I got the wand, I was just doing the water, the protocol, and everything. And so the first week I did that, oh my goodness, being a woman, we're all vain, right? So I was just noticing that I got energy back. That was the first thing that I noticed.
Oh, yes.
I was able to move without, because my body was attacking itself. All my muscle was just hurting, and my joints were hurting. And I was like, oh my goodness. So at least the first day I did it, I had energy to get up, and I was noticing, oh my gosh, I can, so then I saw video, on the testimonial, Facebook testimony, where people were losing weight and doing their skin. So, being vanity as we are, right? So I was just like wanting to tighten my skin up. Well, I didn't know that by wanting that, I had infection right here in my cavity, where the sinus was. That's where the doctor said. And so about 10 days in, not knowing that that's what it was doing, it was loosening up all of that.
Yeah.
And so it came up my sinus, my nose, and then I was like, I feel funny. Something is like loosening up there, and tickling me. So I just covered one of my nostril and started blowing. And so I blew 2 humongous knots that were green.
Wow.
Out of my nose. And so I took a picture of one of the second one so that I could show my doctor.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God. And after that, everything cleared up.
Wow.
No headache, no sinus pain under my eyes. And so when I went to the doctor, I told her that, and she's like, okay, well, that's great that's how good. And, so just keep doing it. What else can she say, right?
Right, exactly.
I know, right? What else can she say? So she just said, keep doing that. And if you can't just finish, you don't want to stop your antibiotic. But I told her that it was making me sick. I just couldn't take it anymore. So and then I noticed, so when I went to the doctor to when I did it for 10 days, I lost 2 pounds. So I was laughing at the nurse because when she weighed me again, I lost 2 pounds just by doing nothing, yet just wanding and drinking the water. And so I was laughing. I was like, I want to lose another, 5, 6 pounds, because that's like the ideal weight I was before COVID. and everything, where I couldn't fit my pants anymore. And so that's my goal now, is to get back to lose another, at least 5 to 6 pounds more, and I'll be back to where I was pre-COVID, right? And then another thing I noticed was that my dentist, who is my cousin, every year he's like, Amanda, you have a cavity in the back molar here, and I really think we need to go in and get it before the cavity. And each year he said, see, it's growing bigger and bigger. And I noticed that it does hurt, but not enough where you're like, okay, do something, right? And so like I said, I was just being vanity, doing this. Well, because I was doing that and it was hitting there, I noticed now I don't have pain in my tooth anymore. So next week, when I go in and see my cousin, the dentist, I'm going to ask him to see, what does that cavity look like now? Is it still the same size, or did it shrink? Because as far as pain, I don't have any more pain. So I'm like, well, maybe that got, it killed the bacteria or whatever causes, toothache. So that's my story. And I'm just, and then I went to see my friend and to show her this. And she said, Amanda, that's the first thing I noticed, is your skin. It looks so much better. It's tighter and everything. And I'm like,
she noticed.
Yeah, she noticed. And I was like, oh my God. I was happy because, you're always your worst critic, right? And so I really wasn't noticing it. But when she said, yeah, that was the first thing I noticed about your face, is that your skin looks so much better. So that made me feel really good. And so I shared it with her. So, I was so excited that I didn't know that she had been, she couldn't sleep for the last 3 to 4 months because of her pain. And so we want her, and I gave her, because she lives 3 hours from me, so I won like almost 5 gallons of water for her, so that she can, by the time she gets her own. She said the next day, she said, Amanda, I slept through the entire night.
Wow.
And the following day, she only did one meeting, and then she went back to bed. She said, I haven't slept like this in 3 to 4 months because I had so much pain. My doctor gave me all kinds of medicine that should have put me to sleep, but it couldn't even do the job. And so I'm excited for her to tell her testimony, but I was just excited to be able, she never told me that she couldn't sleep, because every time I saw her, in our company meeting Zoom, she was always there. She didn't look really tired. But she said, Amanda, I was dying inside. I couldn't sleep 2 to 4 months. My all of my pain were intense and everything. So I'm just excited about, this frequency and this wand, and how we're going to change lives, just give people hope back, and give people just some energy to go live again, and so I'm so excited.
Right.
And
Oh, what a great testimonial. Thank you so much for sharing it. You've only just begun, right?
yes,
So, which
absolutely.
is really, really wonderful. So for those of you that are watching, just to be able to begin to get your health back after any kind of these chronic illnesses, and understanding what's going on with the wand, and how everybody's body will take those frequencies and heal in its body's own priority of healing. So
Absolutely.
as Amanda explained what happened to her and with her friend, I want to, there's always that these results aren't necessarily typical. I'm going to change that to these results they're common. Now, it might not necessarily happen in the same way for you trying it, but they are common because you're giving the body the healing energy that it requires for it to do its job. And so I am just so thrilled. And Amanda, I know that you'll be back on with me again as those testimonials and friends and people that you work with, as we get more and more of these, because this is really what really helps to inspire people to take a chance. The wand cannot not help. It just can't, right?
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Yes, thank you so much. Blessings, blessings, and we'll see you again soon.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, and by the way, I just want to end with this one last thing. If you would like to contact Amanda, and get the Iteracare wand from her, her contact information will be right here in the description. So once again, we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.